Hello everyone, this is James Kitapole and you are listening to the Crunchy Take podcast. This episode was recorded during the week of build-up to the Martin Vettori and Paulo Costa fight. As a result, some of our takes might seem a bit outdated, but this still technically counts as coming out before UFC 267 and 268, which is pretty much the meat and bones of this episode aside from our Jon Jones discussion. I'll include some timestamps for the events in the description, and I know it's been too long since I uploaded, but hopefully due to a change in scheduling and day job, I might actually be able to get back to uploading and creating more fun stuff for this channel. If you like what you've heard in any of the other episodes, please consider subscribing, and as always, thank you for dropping by. All right, Eric.
What's up?
Would you cut Jon Jones?
Would I cut? Look, man, I hate to just regurgitate Uncle Chill's takes.
I knew you were going to say that.
Because I think it. First of all, it's not completely played out, right? Doesn't it? Is there a court? Yeah, there's a court date. I think it's the end of this month. I think I saw this like October 29th or something like that. There's going to be a court date, or he has to go through some kind of court process.
Yep, October 26th.
So, okay, perfect. So, this, I mean, we're all talking about this, and you're just assuming that, let's say, he's guilty of all this. And of course, I'm going to say that, yeah, they should definitely cut him. Like, how many, like, what are we doing here? You know? It's just the same, it's the same guy, the same Jon Jones. He's going to do the same thing. And this is also, you know, maybe it could be why he's the greatest fighter of all time, because you got to be a little insane.
Oh, God.
You know, to have that level of whatever the hell Jon Jones, he's the greatest fighter of all time, you know, if but he just keeps screwing up, man. But yeah, of course, if everything is true that's claimed to have happened, then yeah, I would definitely cut him. But did you hear Chael's take on this?
I did, and it's why I kind of regurgitated his question and the kind of framing that he puts around the question, because it's a lose-lose. And I've been thinking about it for the past however long, since the UFC Hall of Fame to Hall of Shame Jon Jones. It still keeps happening.
Yeah.
Like, this is who he is. It's not going to change.
Yeah.
And the thing that scares me about him, I mean, outside of his fighting and, you know, whatever physical prowess, is the fact that this is, you know, Daniel Cormier said something really kind of eerie, is that because he hasn't lost, he hasn't ever really been forced to go back to the drawing board. Like, this has worked for him, you know, and Lord forbid, it still might work for him. There's no guarantee yet. What the UFC right now, Dana, I think in a quote, he said they're totally reliant on what the court is going to do, whether he's going to get acquitted or not, whether he's actually going to, you know, it's such a sad situation for the sport in general, because again, like I've said this many different times, but he could have very easily been the Michael Jordan of MMA. Like, just how dominant he is. He even had somewhat the personality to match. You know, if he was signed to Nike at one point, like, it was just
it was brief, but he was signed to Nike.
Yes.
He had you know how like Bo knows or whatever, but I think he had a shirt that said Bones knows or Jones knows. Ugh.
That's probably
he was very briefly Nike athlete. And you bring up the whole thing about he's never gone through like an actual loss, never had to pick himself up. Like, the only times he had to pick himself up was to try to, you know, maybe lie to himself and lie to everyone else. Said, well, you know, I'm changed now. I'm gonna not, you know, I'm gonna go to AA. I'm gonna reflect on myself and just
his PR team is really
and be a better person. Man. But it's never anything about like a combat sports loss, you know.
Yeah.
Just different forms of adversity to bring yourself back and to start all over.
I take it back. It's not even his PR team letting him down. It's just like he could really do right now with just not using social media. Like, that's his only plan at the moment, is just to like completely remove. It's not even a Donald Trump situation where they like where Twitter just basically took him off Twitter. Yeah. But this
what do you think he should if you got to choose one thing Jon Jones has to take away, would it be social media or operating a motored vehicle.
Oh my god.
I'm
Well, on
kidding.
that note,
That dude has so much money. I mean, come on, Jones, hire a driver, man.
but the shame is like there's the MMA side of things, and for me, I think having been a fan of the sport for a little bit now, it's just kind of I still really want to see him fight. That's the unfortunate side of it. It's like there's this.
It's
big
not
what
unfortunate.
if.
It's, I mean, you're a fan, and you
I
have
am
every right to
totally
feel
a
that way.
fan, and like he looks so good at the, he looks so happy and at the Hall of Fame thing, and he was reaching upper 200s, 240s or whatnot as far as
Yeah. No, he said he's
weight.
260 already, I think.
Jeez, man. Like, yeah, so like it's there. It's there for the taking, he could very easily slip into the heavyweight rankings, it's all that.
Yeah,
But
also he's, I don't know, man. I mean, I've just watched I've seen Jones's whole come up and him trying to get his way back and falling down and whatnot. He just sounds super fake to me now. The whole thing sounded.
It's I don't know if it's a sell anymore. Okay, you following the story for such a long time, as far as you basically follow him since he started up in the UFC. Like, do you?
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah.
Is there any? Can you compare the Jon Jones situation to just about any other athlete in any other sport at any point in time?
No.
In history?
No, because no, not really.
The greatest of this
sport. He's the greatest. Yeah, the greatest of all time. And no, I can't. There's nobody that I can think of. No, I can't. No.
Then I mean, GSP has to definitely be at the top of that list for me now, just because,
GSP. Wait, what do you mean? Meaning like having just a squeaky record, like no troubles with.
Sorry, that was kind of a segue thought.
The law.
I think the closest thing I can compare, we could maybe compare this to, would be the OJ Simpson thing. Maybe.
Oh yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe,
Maybe.
Like,
but that's murder.
But OJ Simpson doesn't come up in the names of greatest football players ever. I mean, maybe he does, but not to the degree that Jon Jones would be considered for MMA. You take their off-court record aside, but in this case, the off-court record it's a bad precedent, because the whole point of the reason he went to court, and the reason this particular case strikes so many people the wrong way, myself included, and probably yourself included, is because what's being communicated to us is that he beat his wife in front of his kids. And for a fighter to do that, for not only an athlete, let alone an NFL athlete, NBA athlete, whatever, right? But for a fighter to do that in a sport that most people outside the sport perceive to be violent and mindless and just, without thought and just raw, it's a horrible look for the sport. It sets the whole sport back when you're best, most dominant athlete, the most celebrated, well, not most celebrated now, but you get where I'm going with that. It's just such a...
Yes.
But it's a juxtaposition where if you're someone like a Khabib, it doesn't, unfortunately, that also doesn't really sell, And so in a year where so much good has happened for MMA, and the year before, there was so much good that happened for MMA, The whole MMA and the UFC and others of their ilk were the first to kind of step up and say, hey, we'll do these events regardless of COVID. We'll find a way. And they made it happen,
Yeah.
The MMA and martial arts has just been on the rise and it's ever evolving. It's the quickest evolving sport in the world. You go into a gym today and you go into a gym 2 years ago, they're practicing and they're focused on entirely different moves now. There's different trends that arise.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
No,
I'll just say that it's just
I can see how it could set it back. But no, but back to your point about how it looks, meaning like hitting your fiance or baby mom. I don't think they're married, but doing it in front of your kids. It was what he did after too. He never apologized. Also, you can just not say anything. You could just say nothing.
Correct.
Like you said, he should just be off social media.
Off.
He could have his apology could have been something along the lines of maybe like, I'm like what's been brought up is not true, but I'm sorry if I've hurt not hurt, but I'm sorry for what's transpired or whatnot. But it was only he just talked about himself. He was like, well, I got to give him. He pretty much blamed. He blamed alcohol. And like
he blamed
he
brain
blamed
trauma.
alcohol, and then of course you saw I sent this to you, but he posted it's like him and his wife in the car, and he's like, and they're kissing. It's just, I just want to. It's one of those like, hey, blink twice if you want to be saved, Mrs. Jones. It's just it's so uncomfortable. I don't know what he's thinking. Like a lot of times fighters, they're not always in control of their social media. I'm sure Derek Lewis is 100% in control of his social media, but a lot of times before you post something, I'd imagine like you got to go through your agent or whatever. Like, hey, what do you think? You think this is, that was terrible what he did. Very uncomfortable.
And I guess to add on top of that, like it'd be one thing if this was a one-off. This is a horrible one-off, right? For anyone. And like, suppose, let's say out of the blue, I don't know, it was another weird, Alexander Volkanovski, right? Let's just take him in a window. If he were to have, I'm sorry, not to name drop him, but take X other UFC athlete. They did this.
Yeah.
It was this big of a story. And to this day, the UFC still hasn't cut them. That's like, but because it's Jon Jones now, like the other monkey or elephant in the room would be Conor McGregor. Like, hey, he's done some pretty gnarly things. He's done some pretty not great things. But this, I think, actually works to Conor McGregor's benefit because now the split, like, compared to this, Conor McGregor is nothing. That dude is a loving family man. He's a little rambunctious. He kind of comes off now as. Eric, I'm noticing a trend here, man. It's all these fighters that you really love. They just
no, I know. Jon Jones, I stopped.
Jon Jones won, and then like Conor, and then BJ Penn, and just
his
like
whole issue. Wait, what?
No, just like I'm just now noticing. Hey, wait a minute. All these fighters that you just like, unfortunately, have really loved. It's just lately they haven't been up to great things. Like BJ Penn.
Oh, I still love McGregor. I still think McGregor beat Poirier. No, Jon Jones. I started losing it when he started demanding more money going to heavyweight. I was like, all right, dude.
Yeah, and I don't know. Okay, well, as a counter question, do you think he can recover from this? And what if so? Like, if you are his lawyer right now, you with your infinite your infinite knowledge, your infinite knowledge of the law and just how to approach this game. How to like how to somehow build back up again. What do you have to do?
I don't know what you have to do. Can he recover from this? Yeah, I think he can. Look at the other things he's recovered from. He's always found a way to. He'll do his time. He'll take his suspension, do his time, pay his fines, come back, fights, wins. But is he gonna do something to mess up his career again? Yeah. Can he get back from this? I think he can. Yeah, of course. Which is unfortunate to say,
I think he's
come back from everything else, and it's sad, man. He's never gonna learn.
This is different though, because of how public it was. And it's
all public.
It's all crazy. Yeah, and it's crazy that I'm saying that, but like hitting a pregnant woman and just running away. That's pretty bad too. This just like when, where, and how it happened was just so bad. It was the night after he received the Hall of Fame thingy.
It was hours after he received his Hall of Fame thing.
And listening and looking at the police records, because this kind of information is available to the public. Now we'll have to wait, obviously, just not trying to get ahead of ourselves, but hey, we'll have to see what due process says, because that's what the police say, and that's the data that's most available to us. But there's PIs, there's investigations going on, and so
but we heard it from the employee himself. He was like, yeah, she's crying and she's wants another room key.
Yeah, that's a first-hand witness, though. Like,
and her
I'm
kids,
just saying, like, there's
and
due
his
process.
kids are yelling, "Call the cops!" Fuck, man.
Yeah, I'm just you take all that into consideration, and you kind of wonder: is there even a way for him feasibly to step into an arena and have people and have us, with the knowledge that we are about to see him fight, we are about to see him throw a punch. Because, and again, I don't know if I'm overthinking it, but with fighting sports and with combat sports, I feel like there has to be this heightened sense of like, dude, you have to be really self-aware of what you're doing, right? Whether it's WWE or, it's any combat sport, you name it. Like, you have to be really, you have to know what your market is, and you have to be aware. And so, like, the whole, I don't know, I don't, the thought of him stepping into an arena and, say he's going to fight Francis Ngannou, right?
Yeah.
This is the background of that. Yeah. I don't think it's going to be anytime soon. Like if his, the only way I kind of see him overcoming this is like you said, the time game, right? He has to play the long game.
Yeah, he's got it. Yeah,
the long game. Take another, which is going to be horrible for his fight or whatever. But
yeah,
just like play the long game.
Take a year off, come back, try to convince us that he's changed. He's,
yeah,
same old man, same old John Jones.
The just most worse. Immediate thing he
believe
can
it
do,
or not,
Okay, let's say, quote unquote, best case scenario, right? Because a lot of people would probably like to see him do time and probably would like to see him get cut. But let's say that we're going down a different path. Let's say he's either acquitted or he's somehow not punished to the degree that he should be, right? Mm-hmm. Or not by the law, at least. So now it's in the UFC's hands. What is the UFC going to do?
Yeah.
I think indefinitely he has to get suspended. Indefinitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Suspension in a mandatory. It's all public. The corporate UFC is a corporation. It's one of our favorite corporations.
Yeah.
But they have a brand and they have a thing to protect. They have an image to protect, and so they're going to require. My prediction is if what I think is going to will happen is that he will probably be suspended indefinitely. He will have to serve some kind of AA or do some kind of community service time, something, as far as public image. Yeah, public image is concerned. Yeah, one of the two or both. And then obviously third is just to spend as much time away as possible, just like out of the eye. Kind of like how when Ari Shaffir made those Kobe Bryant jokes and the world just like descended upon him. Like, you gotta play the long game, just like.
I mean, he did play the long game. I think he went to China or something, but a year after Kobe Bryant's death, he did post something. He's a shitty human, so
yeah,
I'm not gonna get into that. But he did post something.
Yeah.
The one year after Kobe died, he posted something, joking about his death again. But yeah.
But would John? Yeah, that's the only way I see John Jones really coming back to even get a fight, because. Yeah. What the UFC always, Dana and then those matchmakers, they have to consider, like, hey, are people really going to watch this? Are people going to buy? Which, hey, if John Jones, if it's announced today for whatever reason, if the UFC decides to like whatever, or the minute that he's like acquitted or whatnot at the end of the month, like, hey, like he's not guilty of anything. Let's go and make this fight. People will buy that.
People are going to buy it because they want to watch him lose too.
They want to watch him lose.
That's the thing. Like the beauty of Floyd, like the thing with Floyd Mayweather. People want. Yeah. They tuned in and paid for the chance to see him lose too. So.
Yeah.
I mean, it's unfortunate, man. I mean, John Jones might have brought up his pay-per-view buy rate stock with doing this, really crappy thing.
But it's to the point where I would actually consider not even watching it. If it was like that, but
no, I feel that there's a bigger picture to this. Yeah, this involves his family and all that, but it just, I mean, selfishly, it sucks for us as fans. We might not see him.
How does it make you feel, dude?
Fight. We're not gonna see him fight for a long time.
How does it make you feel as far as you've been watching this sport for a while? Is this kind of
bummed out? What? Go ahead. Sorry.
Is this kind of prototypical of, like, just how do you feel, because you followed it for so long?
Same. I'm no. Like I said earlier, but it just like I'm bummed out, but just not surprised. I've just been let down so many times by this guy, and this is the one. It's like how you gonna get yourself out of this? But it's
Only
like watching
time
all
will
those
tell.
Bourne Identity movies. You watch the Bourne series, right?
Yeah.
He gets stuck in some weird situations. He's stuck in a building with people coming after him, and he somehow finds a way out. And every time I watch him, this
Yeah. How's he gonna get
I don't know
out
how
this?
I don't know why I made that reference, but
Yeah, because Bourne isn't going home to his wife and kids and beating the shit out of his wife in front of his kids. Yeah, whatever. All right. Well, fortunately,
But,
the UFC, MMA and combat sports is the gift that keeps on giving. Because at the end of this month, we have some incredible. This might be the biggest month out of the whole year as far as like combat sports do. Because you got obviously Deontay and Wilder 3 happening tomorrow as the time of recording. But UFC 267.
I know you're gonna say. You're gonna say Mackenzie Dern and Marina Rodriguez.
Happening this weekend, baby.
I'm just kidding.
Well, hey, Dern looked pretty good in the last fight. And by look pretty good, I mean she actually fought good. Like all things considered.
I definitely always appreciate her the lower architectural structure of her body.
God damn it. Fucking
what?
Anyway, it 3 back-to-back weeks. October 23rd, October 30th, and the week after, November 6th. The 23rd, it's just Paulo Costa versus Martin Vettori, or as I like to call it, the Israel Adesanya sloppy seconds kind of fight.
Who's the better? This is the fight for who's the better loser to Israel Adesanya.
I mean, like
it's essentially built up. This fight is essentially built up as a number one contender fight too, which
it should be.
It's a selling point to the casuals, and they're gonna keep milking that. DC and Bisping will keep milking that.
Yeah, it should be. And I feel like if I'm gonna side with anybody, I feel like Costa's due for like an image rebranding. As far as if you like, hey man, like really take this seriously. Don't.
Yeah.
Because Vettori is gonna get into it with him. Vettori is gonna.
His trash talk is very aggressive, violent, not so much clever, but it could be good. And Costa's a pretty intense guy too.
But Costa has the opportunity here to like, all right, I'm not gonna play into that. Because Costa, middleweight's kind of that weight division that doesn't really have a lot going for it. So I feel like if because there is Robert Whittaker that has to happen at some point. Robert Whittaker and Israel Adesanya. 2 at some point it's got to happen.
Isn't that the next?
It should be I don't know if it's been formally announced
or the next
yet.
title fight.
Style bender, man. I don't know who's beating that guy, but I feel like if Costa has a convincing win over Vettori or vice versa, Vettori over Costa, I don't know, it's more so Costa over Vettori because Costa has that fear factor, which is his power and it like just how big he is. If he can look really dominant in that fight, I feel like it would bolster them. It would just give somewhat of a spark to that division that's kind of really, really stagnant, Wait a minute.
Yeah.
That division also has Khamzat Chimaev.
Yeah.
Right?
Wait, Chimaev?
Yeah, Khamzat Chimaev, isn't he? I think he's middleweight. Let me check right here.
I think he's welterweight, dude. But if he is middleweight, Khamzat Chimaev, if he's middleweight, then either way, he's not ranked. I looked him up earlier.
He's not.
He's the one that he's won like 3 fights in a row, and he speaks just like Khabib, right?
He looks like Khabib's evil twin, but he's actually from. He's not from that area at all. I think he's Swedish. I think.
Okay, never mind. But,
he's a Swedish mixed martial artist.
Middleweight. They got players. I mean, they're still Derek.
Wait a minute.
Brunson. What?
Even speaking, I'm sorry. I think just like kind of letting my brain wander. Luke Rockhold, does he fight at middleweight or is he fighting at he's fighting
middleweight.
Really? Okay, so there you go. I mean,
his fight's coming up, but I mean, this dude it's
kind of washed, right? He hasn't fought in a while.
He needs to win.
Over Sean Strickland.
Okay. Yeah, he's nowhere even in the talks of title contention. Unless he wins this next fight super convincingly, then he'll probably get somebody ranked. But Rockhold's pretty far out of it. He's a name for sure. He could be used to maybe build an upcoming fighter if he's not.
He has a really good camp. He has a really good.
But we still have Yeah, we have there's Brunson, who
Derek
who cares,
Brunson,
and then there's the other dude,
Cannonier.
Rosenstruik. Rosenstruik?
Wait, we're not. Rosenstruik, he's a heavyweight. Isn't he?
No, Jarzinho.
Jairzinho Rosenstruik? Yeah, that's a heavyweight.
Oh shit! Yeah, never mind. No, there's another middleweight. Oh man, we are all over the place at middleweight. No, there's another middleweight that's up there, probably top 5.
Kevin
I can't think of his
Holland?
name. No,
Holland just had a fight and he
Holland.
did not look great. Jack Hermanson. I'm just looking at them. Yeah, okay, they have names, but I'm just saying if middleweight had one more like scary Francis Ngannou or just like a, eye candy type guy, and that sounds wrong when I say it like that.
If you're talking eye candy type guy, we already talked about Luke Rockhold. He is a Ralph Lauren model.
Between him and GSP, who do you think the late? Yeah, whatever.
It'll be Luke Rockhold. Come on, Luke Rockhold is. You know what? We don't have to. We'll do another podcast another time talking about our top 5 dime pieces in the UFC. Men.
Our top 5 daddies in the UFC.
Yeah.
Okay, so middleweight. Maybe I spoke prematurely, but I would just be nice if Costa, was somehow able to overcome the drunk. I was drunk before the fight. Image he had.
Please, drink after the fight, not before, dude.
All right. Well, moving on from that.
Yes.
UFC 267, dude. This is back-to-back craziness. Craziness.
Yeah. Well, if you're talking about numbered events, yeah.
No, they're back-to-back. 67 and 68. They're both taking place in. Oh wait, well, 68 takes place in Madison Square Garden, whereas this one. 67 is taking place at Etihad Arena, Dubai. Oh, crap. It starts at 2 p.m. Eastern.
that means you're going to miss that one?
It starts at 2 p.m. Eastern. Maybe I can request it off. Who knows?
Request it off. Oh, by the way, the middleweight I was talking about is Jared Cannonier.
Yeah.
The one that I call Rosenstruik.
Understandable. Did he win his last fight?
Yeah. He beat Gastelum.
Okay.
He beat
man.
Kevin Beans and Rice Gastelum is what I call him.
I don't know how that dude is fighting at middleweight.
He cuts out the beans and rice. He could fight at welterweight.
Oh my god, he totally could. Yeah, the numbered events in this month are crazy, man. You got, Magomed Anakela versus Volkan Ozdemir, which is the
former title contender.
We were just talking about Khamzat Chimaev. He's also fighting.
Yeah,
that's crazy, dude. This card is crazy. I don't know anything about.
He's fighting. Khamzat. He's fighting some dude. He's this Korean guy, but I never heard of him. But he is ranked 11th. So at least Khamzat's finally fighting a ranked fighter.
Yeah, I'm always keeping my eyes on these undefeated fighters, man. But it could be a good win for him. God, I totally missed that he was fighting. Okay, Khamzat Chimaev.
Yeah. I
got Magomed winning. I got Khamzat winning. I don't really know or care about the heavyweight, even though it could be a pretty good one. Marcin Tabura, and Alexander Volkov. I think Volkov.
I think he was like a Bellator champion. Volkov.
I kind of give the edge to Volkov there, just because I've seen him knock someone out before. The next 3, I'm so happy for, man. Dan Hooker, stepping in to fight Islam Makachev. How you see that going down?
I look, Hook. As of late, Hooker's best known for almost dying against Dustin Poirier, and
still really sellable fight though. Like really, he's gritty. So if you can give,
he's gritty. He lost to Chandler in the first round, with Chandler given probably one of the greatest post-fight promos of all time. I think he won. Yeah, this is. Finally, he's finally getting a test. I'm not talking about Hooker. Islam. He's finally getting like an actual test because, all his fights have been not. I don't think anyone. Okay, Dan Hooker is the biggest name that Islam is fighting at the time, because Islam, he has wins against like big names like Gleison Tibau or something, but he was irrelevant at the time that he beat him. So
yeah.
It's going to be a good test, and I know you're probably a huge fan of Islam Makachev, right?
I don't know. I feel like I'm the only fan of Islam Makachev. It's just because
no, you're not. There's plenty of fans.
I know the tendency is to project him, or the elephant in the room there is Khabib. It's kind of like we're all saying a good number of the MMA community is probably looking at him like, oh, well, Khabib retired. All right, I guess we got his replacement or whatever, which I feel is not fair to Islam. He is his own fighter. He has his own distinct kind of style. It is very similar because he grew up and trained and trains actively with Khabib, the greatest lightweight of all time. And so, and some would argue with the GOAT. And so, it's like you said, he's really actually getting a real chance to.
He's finally getting like a name.
If he wins this, I might go as far as to say he might get number one contender. He might be, his next fight would be for number one contender.
Either that or, yes, you're right. Yeah, either that or we'll get, or his next fight will be a number one contender fight.
How crazy would it be?
And look, you're not the only fan, by the way. So there's probably a bunch of people, but I think most fans are just waiting for him to get that chance, and that chance is now. So it should be exciting. And I'm pretty sure you've had this. You thought about this at some point where, let's say he does become number one contender. Let's say Charles Oliveira retains his title
against
Poirier, and we get the we get the Target brand or Walmart brand version of Tony Khabib that we never got. That's pretty exciting, right?
What's funny about that is last year that was being joked about. People were joking about that. It was like, oh, Walmart, or dollar. Yeah, it was dollar store Tony Ferguson and Khabib. Crazy sequence of events.
There's a meme. There's a meme that says, "Hey mom, can we get Tony and Khabib?" And mom says, "We have Tony and Khabib at home."
And it's Islam
Makachev.
Tony
and Khabib at home is
Islam Makachev and Charles Oliveira. Which is, we laugh about now, but that could be, whoa man, that's a oof. I'm hoping.
Look, Oliveira's a champ. Oliveira's a champ, so it's like it's not really a joke,
No. All right, so who do you got there? Like real time kind of for.
I'm just gonna go Makachev.
I don't know. My gut says Makachev, but if he steps in the wrong direction, Hooker is known to he's pretty strategic. He's a pretty strategic striker,
Oh yeah.
So and striking wise, I feel like he would be good enough if he landed it to knock Islam out.
Yeah.
And that'd be a pretty big blow, honestly.
Yeah.
For Islam. And with lightweight, you gotta also, man, there's so many names. I mean, where does Benal Dariush? Where does he fit into that at the end of the?
Wait, Dariush, what is he? Is he like third? What is he ranked?
Dariush is.
I think he's like third or fourth.
He's third.
Yeah, third. Yeah.
He's third behind Gaethje. That's yeah. So
he's up there. He's quietly up there, or maybe I'm just not that.
He hasn't been given anybody. He hasn't. I don't know if he's been scheduled to fight at this moment in time. I feel like he might get the winner of Islam and Hooker. Maybe he might get the winner.
That'll be good.
He might get the winner of Gaethje and Chandler, which we'll get to in a little bit. All right. So moving up, we got Petr Yan and Cory enter Sandhagen. I gotta call him. That's such a cool name. Or, I mean, I just call myself cool, but enter Sandhagen, that whole freaking knee to the head, it's really nice.
Mm-hmm.
This is a good fight. This in my opinion, this could maybe go 2 rounds if Yan is patient enough.
Oh wait, two rounds with Yan TKOing him?
Yeah.
Dang, I don't know. That's a good prediction.
No, okay, not to knock Cory at all, but it's just like Petr Yan, dude, like. Yeah, he's a tough nut to crack. I feel like you have to take him off his rhythm. He kind of reminds me of Shevchenko in a way. Just the way he's so poised with his striking. Yeah. He's a stronger, longer version of Shevchenko, Valentina Shevchenko. Just very. Yeah. His stance is so dominant, and he dominates people with rhythm and just like. Power.
Well, I mean, look, he TKO'd Aldo in a fight that was pretty much all stand up. So.
Yeah,
like you got to be pretty good to outstrike Jose Aldo, who's one of the greatest featherweights of all time.
Yeah. Is there anything about?
Yeah, and ironically, Sandhagen lost to Sterling by the person that he's replacing. He lost to Sterling.
Joe. Oh no, he lost to the champ, Eric. He's lost to the interim champ, to the real champion of the bantamweight. He's the real champion, right? He's the real champion.
He's the real champion, and if Petr Yan wins, we're gonna have another champ versus champ fight.
Oh yeah, just to unite the belts.
Jeez,
but I don't. Okay, Sterling. people rag on Sterling. I don't blame him for not bailing out of this fight. It's still too soon. An injury like that. You know, it is, as much as we rag on the dude, it's Jan kind of did him whatever. You know, like it's a lose-lose situation there. And no, he shouldn't have been fighting. He should have even been considering fighting this year. It has to be at least a year. That kind of injury, you know.
Yeah. It just whatever. I don't want to get into Sterling. That dude's a clown. and if this is a work, I mean, the guy can't be that stupid. But if this is a work, if he's been working us this whole time, then he's brilliant. But I doubt that he is. But yeah, whatever.
Who cares? Yeah, I got Jan there. Although it'd be pretty cool if Cory were to take that from Jan and actually be like I think it's one of those situations where, you know, the monkey wrench, the Justin Gaethje monkey wrench situation might be.
It would be cool, but
might be a blessing in disguise, you know. All right.
Yeah.
So next we got
moving on to another Jan.
The Jan Polish Błachowicz versus Glover Teixeira. What do you got there, Eric?
I'm gonna go by.
You want Glover to win? I know you. This want Glover to win.
This is gonna be my emotional pick for the night. I'm gonna go with Glover Teixeira. One for the old guys. Do it for the old guys. Glover.
How old is he? He's 41.
Dude, this dude fought John Jones. Like he's
he's
one of John Jones' early title defenses. What?
He didn't even look that bad against John. What did he? Did he get knocked out by him?
He didn't.
Was it a decision win?
He didn't have like moments in the fight. This is prime John. I mean, not that he's not in his prime, but this is a prime John Jones. It wasn't very close. And after that, after him losing to Jones, Teixeira kind of was that gatekeeper, the big name that you used to bring up an up and coming light heavyweight. And now he found himself in title contention. I think it's amazing.
I'm happy for him, dude. Age 41, a UFC light heavyweight title on the line. That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's truly remarkable, you know?
Yeah.
Whether he can pull it off or not, I don't know. Because Jan isn't that far behind him. He is 38. He is getting up there a little bit, but this dude Błachowicz, man, just the way he peeled apart Israel and made Israel kind of look like a baby. Almost. Granted, Israel was going up in weight, you know, but like what I saw there kind of impressed me more than I don't know. It's this weird sports saying where I think Jan won that more than Israel lost that. You know what I'm saying?
Damn. Okay.
Maybe
that sounds like a very advanced like sports analyst line.
It's the type of analyst to make Russell Westbrook look at you and not answer your question anymore, I should say.
Dang.
Just think about it too much.
Next question.
Nah, bro, you tripping.
But I'm assuming you got Jan Błachowicz in this?
I have to. Just because, like...
Yeah.
Although, again, these monkey wrenches wouldn't be too bad, man. Like, if Hooker or Sandhagen and Teixeira, if all three of these people pull off a win, the UFC, I think, is automatically so much better. Because now, like... Can you imagine? Because like that's three who you know, Jan and Błachowicz. Jan Błachowicz and Petr Yan both being champions, and then you got a possible number one contender in Islam. If all three of them lost in the same night, whether by decision or by, you know, whatever, that's the beauty of the sport, and that can't happen, you know. So
it could very, very well happen.
Just like Khabib and Tony could have happened if anyway.
Man, that's the forever regret of MMA.
How crazy would it be if Conor came back and fought Islam? Get like a 2.0.
Yeah, I'm gonna predict Conor by murder.
Conor with a titanium leg and Islam with Khabib.
I'll always root for Conor.
Monkey.
Conor's still undefeated to me.
All right. Well, moving on to the next UFC, which is somehow manages to be even crazier somewhat. We got your boy Frankie Edgar, one of the oldies. Fighting Marlon Vera. Am I missing something here? Or why is Vera not fighting? Why is Marlon Vera, Marlon, is his nickname like Chito? So yeah, Marlon Chito Vera. Yeah. Why isn't he fighting Sugar Sean?
I don't know. And I think Sugar Sean is supposed to fight somebody else. I don't know. They should have done
They should have done that ages ago.
Yeah, they should have booked it, but whatever. I don't know. Sean O'Malley still continues to fight people that don't have Wikipedia accounts. So I don't know.
It's crazy because I think I've said it once. I actually give, if anybody's gonna beat Jan, like an up and comer, I feel like I'd give it to Sean.
Sean O'Malley.
Yes, fully healthy because he has the reach. He has that reach. He's tall.
I love watching that guy fight.
Bantamweight. So
yeah, I thought he was gonna fight. What's his name? Dominic Cruz. That would have been crazy.
Yeah. All right, so we got that.
Wait, hold on. We got through. What is it? Oh, Edgar. Yeah.
Yeah, Edgar and
Chito Bear. Edgar. Who do you got? Who do you?
I'm gonna go crowd favorite. I want Frankie Edgar to win.
Yeah, I think.
I want Frankie Edgar, but I think Marlon.
Yeah.
Because Marlon didn't prove any. I don't know. I haven't seen. Bantamweight is a pretty interesting weight class too. But Vera didn't. If he'd have beaten Sean soundly, then I'd be singing a different tune. But Marlon, I just. It's a situation where I haven't seen enough from him. I kind of want Frankie Edgar to win this one,
Yeah, I think Frank Edgar could beat him. I think it's not even like a fan favorite thing. I think he could actually.
Yeah.
He's too like, I don't know, annoying to fight. Quick, good movement. Can you believe he was a lightweight champion?
No,
Frankie Edgar. Now he fights at 135.
It's nuts. Fighting that's
he beat the former lightweight goat BJ Penn twice.
That's like. I don't know what it is with these fighters over age. Like that it's incredible because, there's a story of Volkanovski. He used to play rugby at used to weigh 200 pounds or something playing rugby. And then he fights at featherweight. And he might be the greatest featherweight now. Challenging.
Oof. Yeah.
Maybe.
He's a pretty good cook if you watch his little Instagram shorts.
All right. Moving on, we're gonna go through all of these, man. And then we're gonna finish off.
Really, let's do it
at the very end. Yeah, they're all so interesting, dude. Like I can't. I love this sport so much. I'm fangirling pretty hard. Now we're getting to the good stuff. Chandler and Gaethje, the fight that many people thought should have been the fight to make. Had Poirier not chosen Conor McGregor. So yeah, I don't know. I've been thinking about this fight a lot, and I don't see Gaethje losing. I don't see a scenario.
Really?
Yes, because I feel like this will be the first real time that we can really see. Hopefully, we can really see some Gaethje wrestling, because I think it's gonna take that in order to beat Chandler. Chandler's really good. I wouldn't be surprised if he won, but I just feel like Gaethje has that striking edge. He's just so persistent,
Yeah. Persistent as in moving forward. Yeah.
It's arguable. One could argue that Gaethje should have been given that Oliveira fight.
Yeah.
But who knows? Because he was Wait a minute. Oh, wait, yeah, Dustin still holds. It's a weird situation where Dustin still holds number one. he holds the interim.
That's no, it's not interim. He just holds a number. He's ranked number one. That's all.
That's a blockbuster fight, man. Of all the fights, I'd say I'd have to favor this fight over any of the other fights. As far as if you had to show a non-MMA fan what cool MMA stuff is, I feel like I'd choose this even over the main.
Gaethje Chandler? Oh yeah.
Yes.
Yes. You got it. You kind of have a point there, but yeah, no, I get what you're trying to say.
Because the style is going to be super fun and acrobat. Like it's going to be high velocity striking.
Yeah.
Gaethje though, it's been a weird year for him. This is his first fight this year. This is his only fight. It's probably going to be his only fight this year.
Yeah. Wait. Yeah. His last fight was Khabib. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah. Oof. Both guys coming off a loss, looks like.
Mm-hmm.
I have Chandler though. He's just so
something about you and Chandler. That post fight speech really just won you. over in
It won me over,
particular.
but also I think we might have talked about this before. I like I mean, Gaethje came from another promotion too. He came from World Series of Fighting, but
Sure.
I just like it when it legitimizes other MMA
Yeah.
brands, because you know Chandler coming from Bellator.
I could Chandler is such a one could argue he pretty much had that fight in the first round with Oliveira.
He did.
Like
Yeah,
it was
he did.
yeah, he got caught. And so you have Chandler?
Yeah, I'm going with Chandler.
Right. I'm gonna go.
I don't want to. I like both these guys. I don't want to. I'll just go. Oh yeah, I'll go Chandler just because you went with Gaethje.
Yeah. Both very similar records too, like 22-3, 22-6. Like it's
yeah.
very neck and neck stylistically, style wise. Like it works so well on paper. So it's gonna be fun.
Champions from their former organizations, and actually I think both primarily wrestlers. Like that's like their bread and butter. But I think they just.
I just hope we get to see that. I hope we get to see some of that. You know, because
if anything, I think Chandler would be most likely to utilize it, where Gaethje is just stubborn. He's a little more calculated. Gaethje's more calculated with the striking, I've noticed recently. But Michael Chandler's going to be the one that's going to go with the first takedown.
Mm-hmm.
If there's a takedown.
Second to last for the night is Rose and Zhang. This one I feel has the potential to be fight of the night. I mean, all of these have potential to be fight of the night, but Rose, I similar to, I see a bloodbath coming, as far as, you know, because Zhang is kind of hungry for that, you know. This is a great division because both of these have been champs. Both of these fighters have lost the champ. It'd be one thing for Rose to defend and really kind of solidify, you know. But I could totally see a scenario where Zhang just like, no, screw this. Last time was, you know, whatever. And so, I think I'm going to go with the upset and just go with Zhang there.
Zhang, I'm going to go with the same. I'm actually surprised. I mean, she's only had one title defense, and to get an immediate rematch is pretty wild.
Oh, it was imminent. It was imminent. It had to happen.
A lot of times, it's, you know, she didn't get dominated in the fight, but she got knocked out within like a minute something in the first round. You can, you know, there's always the argument of, well, it's a fluke and could have been a lucky shot. I don't know. I don't know if I remember that fight. I remember if there were like strikes to the back of the head, and I was complaining because I was rooting for Weili.
Sure.
I was rooting for her to win. I don't know why. I just don't want Rose to win, and I'm gonna pick Weili Zhang again. Well, Rose is nasty though, man. Thug Rose. She's nasty.
That night it was kind of weird. It was in Florida, and so a lot of there were a lot of people booing Weili, you know, the whole China thing, and it might still happen again in Madison Square Garden. But
who's the one that made that really ignorant? Was it Joanna that said something so? No, it was
Rose.
Oh, Rose. She said something.
No,
really
but
stupid, really
to me it wasn't. It was just unfortunate timing because Rose was kind of like, I don't know. She came from a communist country. Well, no, so it was bad optics. Which is a journalism no. Usually no one likes to say that, but honestly, I do believe that. Like it was unfortunate, and this time, like I feel like it should be like absolutely focused on the fighting, you know. So you got Zhang too.
I'm rooting for her to win. I'm pretty sure Rose is the favorite though, right?
Yes, she is the favorite.
Probably like a slight favorite. Okay.
Yeah, it's just, man, Zhang. You know, Weili Zhang is what I want Paulo Costa to be for his division. Just like a scary kind of like dude. Like she has that for her division.
Scary,
she has that knockout power, you know. So I think I'm going for Zhang there. All right,
deep breath.
You got
get your Gatorade.
You got the former Mr. Make America Great Again versus the Nigerian Prince. Right?
Hey, dude, the former undefeated UFC welterweight champion. I saw him beat Rafael dos Anjos in Chicago, Illinois, man, in 2018.
I was stayed there for that fight,
chanting USA while Colby Covington walked out to Kurt Angle's theme song.
Wait, you never told me this. You saw him fight. I thought the only fight you saw in Chicago was the one you skipped out on, which was Yo Romero.
No. See, The main reason why, well, first of all, it was a numbered UFC pay-per-view event in Chicago. I'm gonna go,
Sure.
no matter what. But
Yeah.
a big reason why I wanted to go was because CM Punk was fighting.
Oh.
And
Oh my
Covington.
God. Yeah, this was a while ago.
It was a while ago, yeah. Covington was fighting for the interim belt, and I loved Covington. So yeah, that was the co-main event. That's the one that I watched, and then I left before the main event. Yoel versus Whitaker. That's the one.
But that was when Covington wasn't Colby, you know. He wasn't.
No, he was.
He was at that point. He'd already adapted.
Yes,
that persona.
because the fight before that was Damian Maia. That's the one that he called. He fought Damian Maia in Brazil, and it was like, Brazil, you're nothing but a dump or whatever he said. Oh man, it was so good. The UFC was gonna let him go too, because they're like, look, you're a good fighter, but we just don't know how to use you.
Yeah,
and then so he took on this heel role, bought some cheap orange suits, and wears that the MAGA hat.
I wonder what's his stick.
But
now.
yeah,
that's going to be interesting. Leading up to this fight it's roughly a month from now. It's under a month from now. It's just like, okay, well now that Trump isn't president, kind of like, man, what's his game gonna be? Because that
well, he's gonna wear because the new Trump hat is something about Save America or something.
Oh boy, no. See, that's not cool anymore. Like, I don't know.
It's cool to me. I don't care.
He's got to move off. He's got to move off Trump somewhat. So I'm kind of wondering what his shtick is gonna be, because he's a hell of a. Through that, he became a really, really good trash talker. You know.
Yeah.
And he is the one guy. He is the one guy in welterweight division that I would give like an actual chance to beat.
I mean,
the pound for pound greatest.
Because you remember their first fight. It was a close fight.
It was close. It was contested. It was a
It was a good fight. I mean, I'm sure it won fight of the night. That was a good. Glued to the TV for that fight. It was so good.
One of the best. And it was a round 5 knockout. It was around. He literally broke his jaw. And he still wanted to go for more. I don't. But what's on the line though is Usman. If he beats him again, this dude might just be the best welterweight, surpassing GSP. I think if he wins this, I think this actually puts him past. This has to put him past GSP, in my opinion. You offered a rematch to him,
James, that's bold to say.
Man. No, okay. I'm not talking legacy. I'm not talking of all time. I'm just talking the welterweight division. I'm just talking that division. Which I don't think, if you were, I think there's a world that exists where you can say that GSP is the greatest mixed martial artist of all time.
Yeah.
But Usman was the greatest welterweight of all time. I think you can say that. Or can you not say that, in your opinion?
No, it's...
Because that's what's on the line for me. For me, I feel like that's kind of on the line. If he does it, if he does it, how convincingly he does it, and, yeah, that's gonna affect things too.
Yeah. I mean, the dude's scary. I mean, but when you get to talking about greatest of all time, it's like you looking at resume now. He's on what? What's his How many wins did he win in a row? 14 wins in a row in the UFC.
Yeah, so he's undefeated.
14 wins in a row. Yeah, I'm sorry.
He's undefeated in the UFC, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, undefeated. So 14 wins in a row in the UFC. The record is Anderson Silva with 16. But that's okay. So Kamaru, I think he might be second all time in win streak, 14. Very impressive. But
sure,
out of the 14 fights, 4 of them he's defended the title 4 times, and GSP's defended the title 9 times. So it's going to be quite a bit to catch up. But I mean, he's already in the conversation. But if he beats Colby again, man, not only will that give him a better argument, but like you can't book Colby Usman 3.
No,
if Usman won 2 times,
which is kind of why I'm hoping. I'm kind of secretly hoping that Covington wins there, just because I want to see this play out as much as I can.
Think about this too. Like honestly, who the welterweight division is still stacked, but who's gonna beat Colby Covington?
Nobody. Well,
yeah. Leon, somebody could.
Leon, maybe. The fight that would be interesting if Covington. I think I think the both of us are the both of us going with Usman there as far as winning it. So I have to give.
I think
Usman,
money might be Usman.
Yeah, the money is on Usman, but the one
But
person
I'm
who can.
I'm going Colby.
Yeah, the one person who can, and like, yeah, you can definitively say yes to is Covington. If Covington loses, I think an interesting fight to make would be Jorge and Covington. That'd be.
Yeah,
or maybe that was the fight to make last year. I don't know. That was just something like maybe.
It just when there was big hype with Masvidal Usman, and then once loses again for the second time, you know, like it's just like the Costa and the other guy. What's he fighting? Vittori?
Yeah.
Paulo Costa fight. Yeah, it's just like who's the better of the two that lost to the champion. You know.
Yeah.
Not that exciting.
Yeah,
it would definitely headline. It would definitely headline. I don't know. It's probably pay-per-view worthy, but it's tough sell.
Is this one of those fights
for the sake of future fights? See, look. Okay, look. So let's say for the sake of future fights, you want Colby to win, right?
Sure.
Yeah, sure. So there's that, but also for the sake of extending Usman's legacy to be to have an argument to be the greatest of all time, he has to be Covington. See, this is why. See, these are those kind of fights that I'm just like, stresses me out. You know,
it is stressful. Yeah, man, and I don't know.
It stressed me out the first time too because it's essentially two. I think they were both undefeated the first time they fought, right? I mean, Usman
Covington had lost at some point, but yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah. He lost. Oh yeah, he lost. He lost in the some guy that who isn't even in the UFC anymore.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think money is Usman, but it's cool. Okay, this is the first time I think we're kind of on the same page here. Money's on Usman.
But if I'm sure if I haven't looked up the odds, but I bet it's probably super close.
Maybe I feel like it's not as close as it was last time because there was still that intrigue. You know, we'll have to see how the build up. The build up might make things a little different. I'm all ready for the build up. I don't know. I'm.
like the press conferences.
Yeah, the conferences and then the embedded. Oh, dude, and back to back. I wasn't gonna talk about this, but I look at the very next event. We got Holloway and Rodriguez, dude. Like week after week after week, it's amazing.
Yeah.
So,
yeah,
I'm not gonna get into too much.
I mean, it's really a blessing and a curse. If you're just a fan that just wants to watch, it's great for the UFC because you know about how they have a deal with ESPN. They have to they have to
a
certain number amount of events a year to so they get paid. So it's cool. It's good when there's actually a good like Holloway Yair. That's not a numbered event, like a fight night.
Yeah, that's a fight night, but still, that's as in the wake of Volkanovski and Ortega, this now has major credence. You know, as far as the fight
and I mean, like, look, who's Yair Rodriguez is just like a name, just somebody put in front of a Holloway, just another head to put.
I don't think he's just a name. I feel.
You think Yair has a chance?
Possibly.
Oh, come
maybe.
on. Okay,
I don't know.
That's very.
Because with Max,
it's very optimistic of you.
I have to see. At this point, I have to see it from Max, you know, and which I did see it. You know, that whole boxing thing that was amazing. But if you can do that, if he does it again to Yair in dominant fashion, it would actually warrant a 3, you know, between him and Volk. As if it already wasn't warranted now. But like, if he has to, this is the good solidifier as far as like if it's actually worth seeing or not, you know, because say he comes out and he doesn't look as good, okay, you know, like this you know, whatever. But he's young, he's 29. It'll be just fine. So,
dude, there could very, it's a huge possibility there could be a third fight with Max and
Volk.
Yeah, and the champ because. The reason why this I don't know how much sense this is gonna make, but it's because Max isn't even like, I don't even think he really cares, you know. Like fans like me, I'm more mad that he lost to him twice than Max is about it. After Max lost the title, do you remember he just went on the Joe Rogan podcast day?
Yeah.
Like Max cares less than other people, and I think that's gonna help him with his with convincing the UFC to give him a third title shot.
Do you think that's because he knows deep down he didn't actually lose that. It was more of you could call that second fight a draw if you really wanted to.
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
like with respect to the sanctity of the sport, yes. I mean, Volkanovski technically won, even though most of our eyes convinced us that Holloway won. But now there's a lot on the line here now. Like this, make no mistake about it. This is a must win for Max. This is a must win for him if he wants to get that fight. It's possible now, middle of next year or early next year. It is possible if he wins this fight. So yeah, there is that. And then one more thing, kind of to wrap up the night. I feel like Oliveira and Poirier was just announced. A couple of days ago, I think.
December, right?
Yeah. Still too early to speculate on that, but I think made official for 269. Oh, that's crazy. That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
You know why? Because 269 currently has
Sean O'Malley's in that.
Yeah, Sean O'Malley's in that, but I think the big one, that's big.
Yeah.
Jeez, man. They're just pulling out the big guns because they got Brandon Moreno and Deiveson Figueiredo. 3. They got Amanda Nunes
Seriously?
and Julia Pena. Yes.
They're fighting for a third time?
Yes.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
Why not?
I mean, not that I don't want to see it, but no, I don't mind. I mean, it's going to be a good fight. That's great, but
That's another big night. It's just we're not going to speculate on the winners of that today. I feel like we've kind of made that a tired trope. Oh, this matchup, what do you think? Whatever. But that night is just gonna be it's gonna be interesting. Moreno and Figueiredo, Amanda Nunes and Julia Pena, and then obviously you got you got Oliveira and Poirier. So I feel like the UFC kind of knows that the lightweight is like the big money these days.
It's the most stacked. It's been the most stacked for like the last 5 years.
Yeah, so they're leaving it to the end of the year. It's gonna be a good few. Man, it's gonna be a good few months of fighting, man. It's gonna be great. Yeah. All right, I think we pretty much kind of wrapped. Did we go through everything in your notes?
Oh yeah, no, we did. Yeah, we actually did.
Kind of exhausting every single. This is the first one that we've done in ages, and hopefully we can kind of do this again. But hey, maybe for different topics, maybe. I'm gonna try to ask.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah. We'll do the 5 most attractive male UFC fighters of all time.
Yeah, and then just have Tom listen to that. Poor old Tom's gonna be listening to that.
Have him unsubscribe.
So Tom's like, with this, I think I'm gonna unsubscribe from.
I'm done. I think I'm done with these guys. Running out of things to talk about.
All right. Well, that's been the Crunchy Take podcast for this either week or month, depending on if I can get this other athlete to come on, possibly an Olympian. So if you guys like what you have just listened to, please consider subscribing on the podcast streaming platform of your choice. We're also available on YouTube with new content to come and to follow. And so to all of you who have listened up until this point, thank you very much. And we will see you next time. Take care.